Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there.
This is intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarter.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Emmanuel Sanders on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Gold for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Robinson's got it. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And the pressure gets to him again.
That's right. Get off the train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Montgomery. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a 1st down.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Now Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fights free yet again. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20, 10, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run as his guys continue to pour it on.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. On 1st down, Trubisky completes it to Miller. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now it's Trubisky. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just through an opening, and there he goes. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has.